Have you ever hugged someone and wondered, was that good enough? Did I hold on too long? Did I let go too soon? Did I make an impact? Or was I just another forgettable embrace? There's an art to a hug, one that goes beyond just wrapping your arms around someone. It's a language, a message, a moment that can linger in someone's mind long after they've walked away. And believe it or not, Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers of all time, has wisdom that can teach us how to master this seemingly simple act in a way that leaves a lasting impression. If you want to learn the Stoic secret to responding to a hug, so that you're not just remembered, but truly felt, then watch this video until the end. It just might change your love life. Before we dive in, if you enjoy deep insights into Stoicism and practical ways to apply it in your daily life, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into it. The power of presence, the first secret to a meaningful hug. Have you ever hugged someone and, for just a moment, the world disappeared? No distractions, no noise, just you and that person wrapped in an embrace that felt real? Now let me ask you, how many times have you hugged someone and barely remembered it? Or worse, how many times do you think someone hugged you and forgot it the next day? That's the difference between a forgettable hug and one that lingers in someone's mind for days, weeks, maybe even forever. It's not about strength. It's not about duration. It's about presence, the ability to be so fully in the moment that the other person feels it. And that's exactly what Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, teaches us. He said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." In other words, stop overthinking. Stop trying to figure out what the perfect hug looks like. Just be in it. Are you truly present in love? Now think about your love life. Whether you're in a relationship, have a crush, or have loved someone in the past, ask yourself, how many moments did I truly experience? Did you ever have a conversation where you were so lost in your own thoughts that you barely heard what the other person was saying? Have you ever been on a date where you kept thinking, what should I say next? Do they like me? Am I doing this right? We all do it. But here's the problem: when you're lost in your head, you're not there. And when you're not there, the other person can feel it. A hug is no different. When you respond to a hug with hesitation, when you're too stiff, too distracted, or too caught up in worrying how you look, the moment is lost. It becomes forgettable. It becomes just another hug. And the last thing you want to be in someone's life is forgettable. The hug she'll remember forever. You're standing with someone you care about. Maybe it's your partner. Maybe it's someone you're falling for. Maybe it's someone you don't even realize has feelings for you. She steps forward and opens her arms. She's inviting you in. At this moment, you have two choices. One, you give a quick, half-hearted hug, your mind racing with a million thoughts, and the moment passes like a gust of wind, barely noticed, soon forgotten. Two, you pause even for half a second. You step into the hug like you mean it. You breathe naturally, feel the warmth, the texture of her clothes, the way she exhales as she leans in. That second hug? That's the one that stays in her mind. Why? Because for just a moment she felt something. She felt you. Not your nervousness, not your self-doubt. Just you, fully present, fully engaged. And that is the Stoic secret to responding to a hug in a way that keeps you on her mind. How to apply this in real life. Right now, take a deep breath. Think about the last hug you gave. Maybe it was warm. Maybe it was rushed. Maybe it was awkward. Now imagine if you had been fully there. Imagine if you had let go of all distractions and just felt the moment. Would it have been different? Would it have meant more? The next time you hug someone, whether it's today, tomorrow, or a week from now, don't think. Just be there. When you do this, your hugs will no longer be just a routine action. They will become a moment of connection. Something that leaves an impression long after it's over. That's how you stay in her mind forever. And if you want to learn more about how to take your presence to the next level in love and relationships, keep watching, because the next secret will change everything. The right energy. A hug that speaks without words. Have you ever hugged someone and instantly felt something deep without a single word being spoken? Maybe it was a warm, comforting hug that made you feel safe. Or maybe it was the kind of hug that sent chills down your spine. One that made your heart race just a little faster. Now think about the opposite. Have you ever hugged someone and felt nothing, just an empty routine squeeze, almost like shaking hands with a stranger? Why does this happen? How can the same action, a simple hug, feel so different depending on who's giving it. The answer? Energy. And here's where Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, gives us the key. He once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Think about that for a second. What he's really saying is that your thoughts shape your emotions, and your emotions, they shape your energy. This means that before you even touch someone, before you even wrap your arms around them, your energy is already speaking, and the other person can feel it. The hidden message in every hug. Right now, think back to the last time you hugged someone you cared about. Maybe it was a partner, a crush, or someone you deeply loved. What was going through your mind at that moment? Were you fully present, embracing them like they were the most important person in the world? Or were you distracted, thinking about something else, worried about how you looked, overanalyzing the moment? Because here's the truth, your hug is only as powerful as the energy behind it. Imagine this. You're standing with someone special. You reach out to hug them, but your mind is cluttered. Maybe you're stressed from work. Maybe you're nervous. Maybe you're thinking too much. So what happens? Your hug is stiff. Your body is tense. Maybe you pull away too fast. Maybe your grip is too weak. And without realizing it, you just turned what could have been a meaningful moment into something forgettable. But now let's flip the script. Imagine you walk up to that same person this time. You're calm. Your mind is clear. You're focused on the moment. You embrace them with intention, not too tight, not too loose, just steady and real. You breathe naturally, letting the hug last exactly as long as it should. That's when something shifts. That's when they feel something more than just your arms around them. They feel you. That is the kind of hug that stays in someone's mind. The secret to giving a hug that stays with her. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. This means that no matter what's happening in your life, no matter how nervous you feel, you control your energy. So here's what you need to do the next time you hug someone you care about. 1. Pause. Before the hug. Before you even move in, take a breath. Clear your mind. Let go of any stress or distractions. 2. Set your intention. Instead of thinking, "Am I doing this right? I think I want this person to feel my presence." 3. Let your body relax. A hug should never feel stiff or forced. If you're tense, they'll feel it. If you're calm, they'll melt into it. 4. Match their energy. If they're sad, let your hug be soft and reassuring. If they're excited, let it be warm and full of life. Hugs are not one size fits all. They are felt. And when you give a hug that is felt, it doesn't just stay in the moment. It stays in their heart. Why this matters for your love life. Have you ever met someone who had an energy so strong, so magnetic that you just couldn't stop thinking about them? Maybe they weren't the best looking person in the room. Maybe they weren't even saying much, but their presence was powerful. That's because attraction isn't just about words. It's about energy. So the next time you hug someone you care about, ask yourself, what is my energy saying right now? Because if you master this, if you learn how to control your energy, be fully present, and let your hugs speak without words, then you won't just be remembered. You'll be unforgettable. And if you're ready to take your connection to the next level, keep watching because the next secret will change everything. Adapt to the moment, the strength of a soft touch. Let me take you back to a moment in your life. Think about the last time you hugged someone you truly cared about. Maybe it was someone you loved deeply. Maybe it was someone you hadn't seen in a long time. Maybe it was someone who needed comfort, even if they didn't say it out loud. Now let me ask you, did you hug them the right way for that moment? Or did you just give the same standard routine hug you always do? Because here's a truth that most people don't realize. Not every hug should be the same. A playful hug, a comforting hug, a passionate hug, they all feel different. And if you don't adapt to the moment, the hug won't have the impact it could. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved and the raging of the sea falls still around it." Now you might be wondering, what does this have to do with hugging? It's about being unshakable but adaptable. A rock doesn't resist the ocean, it lets the waves flow over it, adjusting but never breaking. And that's exactly how your hugs should be, strong but never rigid, present, but always in tune with the other person. The biggest mistake people make when hugging. Now let's talk about something most people get wrong. Have you ever hugged someone who felt like they were just going through the motions? Like they were hugging out of obligation, not emotion? Or maybe you've been on the receiving end of a hug that felt too much, too tight, too long, almost overwhelming. That's what happens when you don't adapt to the moment. Imagine this. You see someone you haven't seen in years. The emotions are high, there's excitement, maybe even tears. In this moment, what kind of hug do they need? They don't need a quick 1-second squeeze. They need to feel your presence. They need a hug that lingers, one that says, "I've missed you. I appreciate you." Now imagine another scenario. You're teasing someone you like, maybe flirting a little, and you go in for a hug. Do you grab them tight and hold them like you're never letting go? No, you keep it light, playful, maybe even brief, just enough to create tension and make them want more. Every hug has a message, and if you give the wrong message, it won't have the impact you want. The secret to hugging in a way that stays on her mind. Marcus Aurelius believed that wisdom comes from knowing when to act and when to wait. He said, "Nothing happens to anyone that he can't endure," and this is key. When you hug someone, read the moment before you act. Pay attention to their body language, their breathing, their emotions. Ask yourself, do they need comfort? Then hug them gently, with warmth, and let them feel safe in your arms. Are they happy and excited? Then hug them with energy. Even lift them slightly, make it full of life. Is there romantic tension? Then make it slow, meaningful, with a slight pause before pulling away, just enough to make them want more. A Stoic doesn't react blindly. A Stoic observes and acts with precision. How this changes your love life. Let's be real, most people hug without thinking. But imagine if you were the kind of person who always gave the right hug at the right time. People wouldn't just remember your hugs, they'd remember you. So the next time you're about to hug someone, pause for a second. Feel the moment. Adapt to it, because when you do, that hug won't just be felt, it'll be remembered. And if you want to learn how to take this to the next level, keep watching, because the next secret will change everything. The art of letting go, ending a hug in a way that leaves an impression. Let me take you back to a moment. Think about the last time you hugged someone you truly cared about. Maybe it was someone you loved, someone you missed, or someone you secretly wished would never let go. Now ask yourself, how did that hug end? Did it fade away naturally, leaving a warm feeling in your heart? Or did it just stop? Maybe one of you pulled away too quickly, leaving the moment feeling incomplete. Maybe it was over so fast that just seconds later, you barely remembered how it felt. The way a hug ends is just as important as how it begins. And this is where most people get it wrong. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "Do every act of your life as though it were your last." That means be intentional, be present. Don't rush through life's small, beautiful moments as if they don't matter, because they do. And in the case of a hug, if you learn how to let go the right way, that moment doesn't just end, it lingers in the mind of the other person. Why most people let go too soon? Here's something you might not have thought about before. Most people pull away from hugs too quickly, not because they want to, but because they don't know how to handle the moment. They get nervous. They worry about making it awkward. They don't want to overstay their welcome in someone's arms. And so they rush it. They break away too soon, making the hug feel unfinished, almost like an interrupted conversation. But what if, instead of ending it too fast, you ended it in a way that left a lasting feeling? What if you knew how to pull away, just slowly enough that it made the other person wish the hug had lasted a little longer? That's the secret. And once you master it, you'll never be forgotten. The right way to let go of a hug. You're hugging someone special. You feel their warmth, their presence. The moment is comfortable, effortless. Now, instead of snapping away when it's time to end the hug, you ease out of it. You pull back slowly, letting the connection linger for just a second longer than expected. Maybe your hands rest on their arms for a brief moment before finally breaking contact. Maybe you give a small, warm smile or lock eyes for just a moment before stepping away. That tiny pause, that's what makes the difference. Because here's the truth. People remember how something ends more than how it begins. It's the last thing they feel, the last thing they think about. And when you end a hug the right way, it stays with them. How this changes your love life. Have you ever had someone stay on your mind long after they were gone? Maybe it was something small they did. The way they looked at you, the way they said goodbye, the way they touched your hand for just a second longer than expected. These tiny moments are powerful. They create a lasting emotional imprint. And when you master the art of letting go in a way that leaves the other person wanting more, that's when you become unforgettable. Marcus Aurelius said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. So don't waste these little moments. Be intentional. Be present. And the next time you hug someone, whether it's your partner, your crush, or even just a friend, don't let go too soon. Pull away just slow enough that they feel the moment. Because when you do that, they'll remember it. They'll remember you. And if you're ready to take your connections to the next level, keep watching. Because the next secret is even more powerful. The power of the pause, making the hug last beyond the moment. Have you ever hugged someone, and as soon as you pulled away, you wished it had lasted just a little longer? Maybe it was with someone you love, and for those few seconds the world felt perfect. Maybe it was a hug that gave you comfort during a tough time, or maybe it was with someone special, and you could feel something deeper in that embrace. But then before you could fully enjoy it, it was over. Now think about this, what if they felt the same way? What if in that moment, they were hoping you'd hold on just a second longer? That slight pause just before you let go can be the difference between a hug that's nice and a hug that lingers in someone's mind for days. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "Dwell on the beauty of life. Watch the stars and see yourself running with them." What does this mean in the context of hugging? It means slow down, feel the moment, let it sink in. The hug that she keeps thinking about. Now imagine this. You're hugging someone you care about. Maybe it's your partner. Maybe it's a friend who means the world to you. Or maybe it's someone new, someone you're just beginning to connect with. As you wrap your arms around them, you don't rush. You don't just squeeze and let go like it's a routine. Instead, you pause just for a second. Not long enough to make it awkward. Not long enough to force anything. Just long enough to let them feel that you are fully present. Long enough for them to realize this isn't just a casual hug. This means something. And then as you gently pull away, you don't snap back. You ease out of it, leaving a trace of warmth behind. Maybe your hand lingers for half a second. Maybe your eyes meet, sharing an unspoken moment. That's when the magic happens. Because when you do this, when you pause just long enough, they remember. They carry that moment with them. They replay it in their mind. And that's how you stay on their mind forever. Why most people rush the moment? Now let's be honest. Most people rush through hugs. Why? Because they're uncomfortable. Because they're afraid of making it weird. Because they don't know how to just be in the moment. But here's the truth, people crave connection. And when you're the person who knows how to hold a moment, how to pause and let the hug mean something, you become unforgettable. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you enter a hug thinking, "Let me get this over with," it will feel that way. But if you enter a hug thinking, "Let me make this moment count," it will. How to master the power of the pause. Here's what you need to do next time you hug someone. 1. Take a deep breath before you let go. That simple act slows you down and makes the hug feel more intentional. 2. Feel the energy of the other person. Are they holding on just a little longer? Do they seem to need more time? Match that energy. 3. Let go slowly. No sudden movements. Ease out of the hug, making it feel natural and meaningful. 4. Make eye contact after, even just for a second. It deepens the moment and makes it last beyond the physical touch. When you do this, you're not just giving a hug, you're creating a memory. And the next time that person thinks about you, they'll remember how different it felt. They'll remember you. And if you're ready to take this deeper, if you want to truly master how to connect with people in a way they never forget, keep watching, because the next secret is even more powerful. Conclusion: the Stoic secret to a hug that stays on our mind. So let's bring it all together. 1. Be present, stop overthinking, and just feel the moment. 2. Let your energy speak, your thoughts affect how your hug feels. For it or adapt, not every hug should be the same. Respond to the moment. 4. Let go with timing, release in a way that leaves her wanting more. 5. Finish with intention. A small final touch makes all the difference. Marcus Aurelius mastered not just war and philosophy, but the art of being memorable through his presence, his wisdom, and his way of interacting with people. When you apply these principles, you don't just give a hug, you create a moment that stays with her. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.